Welcome.
All right.
I was caught up in the moment and felt like it was a little bit of like a dance music moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Were you dancing?
I was swaying. I don't know if you could call it dancing.
Well, yeah, that's called
Yeah.
middle school slow dance.
There you go.
It's the sway.
It's the sway.
It's the sway. Okay.
Yeah. But welcome.
Was your
everyone.
heart into it? That's what I got to know.
I think it was because it distracted me from even greeting everyone.
Welcome to This Is the Sway with Johanna Beachy and me, Bo Jancy.
There you go.
The day we slow dance together virtually.
Yeah, sure. Exactly. You can all join in wherever you're sitting. Just sway. They don't have the music that we just. No, they do. They do. They had the same music.
Sure.
I just realized that. You did.
My very first middle school slow dance. Okay. I just doubled
Yeah.
down on the awkward.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
that's the only way to go in middle school.
It wasn't really on purpose.
Yeah.
It just,
Oh.
it's me. And that middle school dance, I had mentally prepared for really everything but the slow dance, which was kind of, see, I'd taken cotillion ballroom dancing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you have to wear like a powdered wig for that?
No, it's not. That's not what it is. But
Oh.
you just learn manners and but you
great.
like how to waltz and
Yeah.
some of the box, just some different dances and anyway. So I learned all those, but I never like really prepared for just the middle school sway.
Yeah.
So we get into that
Yeah.
moment, and I had some like staying alive moves, for the faster
Sure.
songs.
Of course.
Yeah, I was ready to roll, and everything was going great. But then it came time for that, and the girl that I was dancing with, she put her arms around my neck up high,
Sure.
and then I was like, I don't know what to do with my hands. I didn't think to like look around.
To
And-
see what is everyone else doing.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
To see where
To get some ideas.
right where the hands go. And so I just did what she did. So now we're like this. And then I look and I'm like, oh no, I'm the only dude with the hands up top.
Well.
But I was committed. So I stuck with it through the
Yeah.
whole song.
Just made it look intentional at that point.
Yeah, like I was
Sure.
like I was right and
Yeah.
everybody else was wrong.
Right. Yeah. There you go.
It's a lot like being on social media.
Well,
Okay.
I
Hey.
have never been to a school dance,
Yeah,
middle school or otherwise.
that checks out.
Yeah, it does.
I gave you the whole thing right there. Just if you could just
Exactly
enter into
what
that
it's like.
and feel what I felt, you got the gist.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can see it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
So hey, so how you doing?
hey. Well, I have something on my mind,
Okay.
and I feel like before we go any further, I owe an apology
Okay.
because I falsely represented my dad. Last week, you asked if I could sing. And I not only spoke for myself, I spoke for my entire family.
You did. You gave a rundown of the whole
I gave a
Beachy
rundown,
clan.
and I claimed certain people had the ability to sing and certain people did not. I have actually been emphatically corrected by both my father and my mother that my dad, who I said to everyone, the whole family of This Is the Day, who I said could not sing, in fact can sing.
Okay.
And he sings bass. Yes, and not only can he sing, he and my mom at one point were in a quartet together.
Well, isn't that fun?
It is fun. Yeah, so I just feel like I owe an apology for having claimed on here that my father couldn't do something that clearly he can. So, Dad, I'm sorry. Family, I'm sorry for telling you all that. Yeah,
Okay. Glad you clarified.
thank you. Yeah,
I hope you can
that was a
sleep
good
tonight.
moment. I will feel better having corrected that for my dad.
That's right.
And my mom, she was like coming to his defense that my dad can sing.
Yeah, the ability. Well, bass. That's cool.
Yeah,
If I could pick like what my voice would be, that would be it.
it's a fun one.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't have
Yeah.
it.
Now I'm doing great.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're free and clear.
Feel light as a bird.
Right.
Yeah.
You were
Yeah.
wrong about something.
Yes.
And you just admitted you were wrong
I admitted
about
that
it.
I was wrong and that I said something wrong.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And you took some action.
I did.
To correct what you were wrong about.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
And you feel better?
I feel a lot better.
Huh.
Yes. Yeah.
Weird.
Uh-huh. I mean, we can all be wrong sometimes in life, right?
We are all wrong
Yeah.
sometimes in life. So yeah, that's a fun thing.
It was.
Oh, Go ahead and acknowledge it, admit it,
Yeah.
and make some correction.
Feels good.
Go figure.
Yeah.
That's fun. I like that. Well, thanks for sharing how you're doing.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
Well, that was fun. I'm having a good time.
Okay.
Yeah, I like to listen and learn, and it's good to know you make mistakes.
It can happen occasionally.
Yeah, we were all getting a little concerned. We're like, Johanna, it's too good to be true.
Yeah, no, the mistakes are there.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
helps.
they are.
Yeah, I mean, I was like growing concerned that
Sure.
there was like
Yeah.
I don't know, like some serial killing happening or something. And
Now
we're
you know,
we're
I'm
gonna-
just an average human.
Yeah, we're gonna find out about it like when the FBI
Oh my
showed up
gosh.
and
Or Netflix.
yeah, the
you
Netflix special. Johanna Beachy, Family
Yeah.
Life Pastor,
No, not me.
monster. Yeah, it's too good to be true. That's good. All right, we all feel better.
Good.
Collective sigh of relief from the This Is the Day fam.
Johanna makes mistakes.
Johanna does make mistakes. But you handled it very graciously.
Thanks. I mean, I have learned from watching other people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of them out there.
Well, sure.
Yeah.
What, handle it graciously or not?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
No, handle it graciously.
I think you can learn from
Yeah.
both ways. I've
You
learned
can.
on the
You can
flip
learn
side of that.
what to do and what not to do.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll take a lesson anywhere I can get it if I don't have to go
Yeah.
through the hardship to learn it.
Right.
Yeah. I don't. Hey, look, if the hard way, if there's another way, I'm down. I don't know. It
There's-
doesn't always have to be the hard way.
There's a real fun little book called that's about like learning from other people, basically, or taking their. It's called Steal Like an Artist.
Okay.
So just like take other people's idea or like learn from other people. Anyway, it's a little book, but I liked it. It's kind of that same concept.
Yeah. Sweet.
Yeah, learn from people.
Right on. All right. Sweet. Thanks for sharing. Speaking of sharing,
Yes.
we asked for some to-do-ins and what are you guys up to? And so if you got anything, any pictures or videos or anything that's been going on in your world, we talk about how we're doing.
Yeah.
We'd love to know how you're
we
doing.
We would love to see it.
For sure.
Yeah.
You can send those to thisistheday@manchesterchristian.com. And we have some fam to-do-ins
Okay.
from our own Karen Baum,
Okay.
whose husband Mark is adopted and found his family after 40 years of not knowing. So here we have a picture.
What?
Yeah. And they show Mark and Karen meeting his brother Alex, who's a pastor in Virginia.
Oh
So they're there
my
right there.
gosh.
Alex, he's holding a prayer for one book. Woohoo.
Whoa.
I know. Actually, Karen had come in. She was doing some volunteering, some training for our online services for hosting. And she told me the story and asked if I would sign a picture for him, for Alex. And so I signed that book. And anyway, pretty cool.
So her husband had not known his family for like 40 years, or
Yep.
like for most of his life, I'm guessing. And he found them after 40 years and was reunited and got to meet them.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
Really neat.
Wow.
Really very cool.
That
So,
was a very like celebratory fam to doing.
for sure.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
That is.
Absolutely. Thanks for
Wow.
sharing that with us.
Yeah.
Karen, we really appreciate that. Super, super cool. So whatever you got going on, like we'd love to see that. That's exciting. We want to celebrate that with you, and that's encouraging. All right, also encouraging, we have our verse of the day. All right, so verse of scripture every day. Read it, unpack it, chew on it, wrestle with it, think about it. Our verse of the day today comes from Hebrews, chapter 4, verse 16.
Okay.
It says, "Let us then approach God's throne of grace with confidence so that we may receive mercy and find grace to help us in our time of need." I'll read it again. "Let us then approach God's throne of grace with confidence so that we may receive mercy and find grace to help us in our time of need." Hebrews 4:16. All right, Johanna, what jumps out at you there?
Confidence.
Confidence.
The word confidence jumps out to me because like the beginning of that says let us then, which tells me like go back and read what's happened before that, like what's going on around that verse and the context of it. And I think that passage is talking about who Jesus is and
Yep.
like Jesus as our high priest. And that word confidence jumps out to me because I'm like, so we're approaching God and we're receiving like his mercy and his grace with confidence, not because of like anything we've done or like our ability or like that we somehow deserve to be there and be approaching God. Like we can approach him with confidence because of Jesus and who Jesus is and what he's done. And like that confidence becomes, that word is so cool to me that like we can have confidence in approaching God and confidence in the grace and the mercy that he extends to us in our life. And that's so encouraging to me. I love that. But I think that source of where the confidence is like a key thing for me and where that comes from.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah. Like I've been described as a pretty confident person, but I'm like that. Like I don't want that to come from me feeling confident in myself or like my own ability or like works or something like that. But like that I feel confident because I know who I am because I know who Jesus is and what that means for me. Yeah. Confidence. Approach him with confidence.
Right on. Yeah, that's why I think maybe even like I like it when Scripture uses kind of titles for things. God's throne of grace.
Yeah.
God's throne of grace. So we can approach God's throne of grace. Yes, he is a king, and yes, he is majestic, and yes, he is powerful. And yes, he is greater than us, but we can have confidence to approach his throne of grace. And it's the grace that produces the confidence in who he is, what he's done, what he's promised to do. But in his grace, his unmerited favor that we don't deserve to approach, but rather he is inviting us to approach.
Yeah.
Even with our shortcomings and failings. Yeah, not that we've earned it. That's where the confidence comes from. As you're saying,
Yeah, it is.
Throne of grace. It's like things like the God of peace. You know, the scriptures refer to him as the God of peace, the throne of grace. And you're right. In Hebrews, it is talking about Jesus as the high priest right before this. And it talks about that we don't have a high priest who is unable to empathize with us in our weakness.
Right.
But rather, we have one who's been tempted in every way. So, like, he gets the temptation, he gets what we've experienced. And yet he still extends his grace to us. And so we have this confidence in him.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I'm picturing it's almost kind of like if you go to someone's house who you don't really know and you're approaching the front door. If you can find the front door in New England, right? And if you don't, like, there's a different type of like, there's almost like a little bit of a hesitation when you're like going to someone that you just don't know that well. But when you're going to someone and you're approaching them or you're approaching like their house, their front door, and you know them really well, you know who they are, you know that they love you and care about you, you have so much confidence in approaching because you know who they are and the love and the care that they have for you. It's like that.
Right. For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, very cool.
That
I love
is.
that. Yep.
Verse of the day.
Yep. And the other thing too is when it comes to grace, I think sometimes we think, well, God doesn't understand, or you know, what I'm dealing with is not something, you know, he's really able to handle.
Right. Or that he doesn't really know how hard this is or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Which pride can cut both ways. We can be prideful in the sense of going, well, I don't really need his grace. I'm all set on my own. You know, I'm dominating life. I'm pretty amazing, pretty awesome. I mean, I'm better than Johanna. So, you know, I didn't say my dad couldn't sing. You know, we do these little. I mean, that's pride that could keep us from approaching the throne of grace with confidence, because we're like, I don't really need grace, so why would I approach the throne of grace? So I'm all set there. So we're really not connecting with God. But it can go the other direction too. That goes, well, I'm so awful that I am beyond God's grace, and you know, it's more than he can handle, and you know, he doesn't really understand. So I'm not going to approach the throne of grace because you know my stuff is so. And it goes both ways. So to get into that place where we go, wait a minute, God does know, he does understand, he does care.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. Huh. And we find grace to help us in our time of need.
Yep.
Great. I mean, there's a lot here, but and I'm almost done talking about it. Maybe, I don't know, but like that's the you know, we're in a time of need. You know that. So are we approaching the throne of grace, and you know, humbly sitting at the throne of grace to say, God, we need you, and you know, what do you have for us, and what are you doing, and you know, I know that people are upset, and it's certainly understandable, but you know, we're approaching so many things, but the throne of grace oftentimes, and it's like, well, I mean, yeah, probably just going to keep feeding into the anxiousness, the worry, the fear, the anger. heartache, the despair. I mean, if you want to keep exacerbating all those things, then stay away from the throne of grace. But if you want to receive some help in your time of need, here you go.
Yeah.
Here you go. Yeah. That's why I always say, when prayer becomes a first response as opposed to a last-ditch effort,
Yeah.
we're into something good.
Yeah. That is accurate.
First response. Okay.
Okay.
Now we got a calendar page.
Yep. I think I'm just going to call it the corner calendar.
The corner calendar?
Yep.
Why?
It's the corner of the table.
Maybe the coroner.
Or that.
I don't know. Yeah, I actually really like this one.
Okay.
I've been feeling this for a long time. It says a large group of people is called a no thanks.
Yep.
Large group of people is called a no thanks.
Yeah, I like the picture they have.
Yeah, it's
I would agree with this for the most part, except that picture looks like a cool crowd of people.
because they're all wearing plaid.
It's true.
They're all from New England.
Look at all that flannel.
A lot of beards, a lot of facial
There are.
hair.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm
fair amount.
being ostracized.
Okay, this is where I wrestle with, like, am I introverted, am I extroverted? Because I agree with that statement. So true. But
Well,
then I
crowd-
also look at all those people and I'm like, oh, but it would be so much fun to go talk to them and learn about them and hear their story.
Well, crowds don't
But-
necessarily mean that you're an
Yeah.
extrovert or an introvert.
Yeah.
It's whether or not you gain energy from people.
This is true.
I do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do too.
I suck the life right out of people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely, I am an extrovert. I function as an introvert a lot, but I'm
Okay.
definitely an extrovert. I enjoy being around people.
But that does feel like a very applicable calendar page right now too.
I think
Yeah, it's good.
yeah.
It's a funny one.
Here's the
I
deal.
liked it.
Like, we really, yeah, occasional crowd situation
Yeah.
can be good, but you don't want to be crowded.
No.
You want to be in a crowded elevator. That's not your first
Nope.
option. You don't really. I mean, there's some cool crowd dynamics that you can experience, but by and large,
For the most part, though, crowds are like I would say a large group of people is a no thanks for me. I've been to Times Square before in New York City, and I was like, "Get me out of here!" There were just a lot of people.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We've known like in the quote unquote mega church world in our large buildings with our there is a crowd dynamic. There's also
Sure.
a size and a capacity where it's repulsive. The crowd, how far away do you have to park? I mean, it's not even like, some people will go, well, you're going to church, so suck it up and suffer for Jesus, which I always think is just dumb. Like, it's a joy to be able to gather and worship Him.
Yeah.
But like we've known that, okay, there's a point of repulsion, and there's kind of a tipping point where it doesn't apply to everybody. So you may be different, which is totally fine. You may be like, no, I want to be stacked on top of people. I want to have, I want to have somebody on my shoulders because it's so crowded, which is great. But typically, when you have like just jam-packed, everybody on top of one another,
Yeah.
kind of chaos, the people on the stage really like it, and they're about the only ones.
Yeah.
And so anyway, just like, all right, so how do you really, allow and create, because when we gather for worship, what we're trying to do is always remove as many distractions as we can to help people connect to the presence of God and experience His presence and respond to Him in worship. Same thing we're attempting to do online.
Right.
When we gather online.
Sure.
Anyway, no thanks. We were.
No thanks.
I hadn't been to like a mall in a long time, and went right when it opened with my kids, and so it was pretty empty. And we were gonna really look at one store. We wanted to look kind of at one thing, but then we decided, well, there was one other place we wanted to look. Anyway, we ended up basically walking the whole mall.
Okay.
And after it had been
Good exercise.
yeah, it was fine. Yeah, we were bored, But by the time we were leaving, it was a definite no thanks.
Okay.
Way too many people had congregated
Yeah.
in the quote-unquote mall.
That can happen.
Yeah. Anyway, which that whole last thing on this,
Okay.
the Mall of New Hampshire,
Yes.
I gotta admit that I had higher expectations when I moved here. I'm used
You
to it
thought we'd
now.
have bigger malls?
No, I just wanted, I was like, sweet. the Mall of New Hampshire.
Yeah.
That feels pretty special. That feels
Yeah.
like it's going to be.
Have you been to other malls in New Hampshire?
I have.
Okay, because I was going to say, compared to most of the other malls I've been to in New Hampshire, that is the more impressive one.
Why?
I mean, it's the bigger one.
Maybe. Oh, wait, so
Yeah.
the, like Burlington, Salem, that's in.
That's probably the second biggest. Like,
Yeah, that's in New Hampshire, right?
Yeah.
That's a much better mall.
yeah. But I mean, like, have you
Far
been to
superior.
some, like, have you been to Steeplegate Mall in Concord?
Is that even a thing anymore?
I mean, not really. But it's like one little stretch of, it's like a hallway practically. I mean,
feel like I'd like want
Yeah.
to skateboard in there. or
not
something.
bashing on Steeplegate. I had my very first job that I ever worked at Steeplegate Mall,
Which was?
J.C. Penney in the shoe department.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm saying compared to that, Mall in New Hampshire is like a step up.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
Then we have another calendar that gives us
Yes.
a national day to celebrate.
It's always
is
exciting.
National Cheese Lovers Day. You're making a face.
All right. Well, I spoke too soon about it always being exciting. Someone out there will celebrate the cheese. Will you celebrate the cheese?
I love cheese.
Okay.
You don't love cheese?
No.
Okay. That's
I
a
don't like cheese.
that's a pretty strong universal reaction to cheese. Are you lactose intolerant?
I don't know if I technically am or not. It usually does bother me if I eat dairy, so probably.
Okay.
I've never been tested or anything.
So what you're saying is cheese doesn't like you.
Cheese doesn't like me, and I don't like it.
Fine.
So,
Well, you're not allowed to celebrate today.
no, I don't need to. Someone else can celebrate the cheese.
I love cheese.
I'll find something else to celebrate.
Cheeses are great.
Yeah.
No blue
I mean,
cheese for you?
Oh my gosh, no.
So
That's
good.
like the worst kind.
Oh, I love the blue cheese. Maybe a little cracker, a little fig preserve, a little blue cheese. It sounds good.
Or goat cheese?
Absolutely.
Oh, why?
Love the goat cheese. Delicious. So
The
smooth.
taste, it's like you're eating moldy socks.
So I don't know, like we're having a day where we're celebrating cheese lovers and you're trying to kill our joy.
Okay, here's how I can celebrate today. I don't love cheese, but is it Cheese Lovers Day? Because I can love the people who love cheese.
Okay.
I'll do that.
Yeah.
I'll celebrate you today, people, but not the cheese itself.
Maybe not diminish our love of cheese.
Yeah. Well,
That'd have to be your thing.
but if it's your thing, go for it.
Okay.
Eat a pizza. Have some string cheese. I don't know.
We have string cheese.
You can have it. You can have it all.
String cheese. Maybe that's your issue is this the only cheese you've ever had and you feel like it was stringing you along?
I don't think that's the issue.
That was a cheesy joke.
Oh, well. Yeah, it was a little bit.
Oh. No? You want?
No.
Okay. Maybe I'll try a Gouda joke. Let's see. Nope. Cheese puns,
No,
they're out. All
too
right.
cheesy.
Okay. Fine. All right. One of the things that, Johanna, you do while you don't necessarily celebrate every day,
Right?
you do find wonder.
I do.
And
Yes.
so I wonder, what do you
Yeah.
find wonderful right now?
I did find something wonderful recently that I would happily share with all of you.
Okay, what's that?
Okay, we all know that, you have dogs, and we know that it is a wonderful thing to play fetch with dogs. But I bet you, I, and most of the people watching have never played fetch with a horse before.
I don't think I have.
But apparently there are some horses out there that absolutely love it. And I stumbled across this, which I thought was wonderful. It just filled my heart with joy, so I'm gonna share it with all of you.
You didn't really fetch it.
Well, I think he was bringing it back to the guy. That was a piece of the video, but I think it just takes him a little longer than a dog. I think he's done. It just takes him a bit
a
to
big
get
ball.
it back. It is, yeah, and he doesn't quite have, yeah. I think he was actually returning to the guy though, because what I was watching was the guy kept throwing it out, and then the
Yeah.
horse would like eventually get it back to him, and then he'd throw it out again. I love it.
I do too.
I thought it was wonderful.
I love animals.
Me too.
That's wicked cool. Sweet.
Yep.
All right, let's do a little Trivial Pursuit.
Yes.
All right, so 6 questions on the Trivial Pursuit card. I'm gonna guess it all 6. I want you to guess it all 6. You get all 6 right, let us know. We'll send you a congratulatory Pop Rocks from a Fun Dip box. We have the original
Yep.
1981 edition and the 40th anniversary edition. Oldest cards, newest cards, old or new?
No.
Going new.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Blue.
Geography.
Which 2 U.S. states have the most national parks?
I got to name 2 U.S. states.
2 U.S. states that have the most national parks.
Oh, wow.
So put your guess in too.
So the total number of national parks, not
That's-
just size.
No, it says has the most national parks, not like land area.
Goodness.
So I think it's total number of parks.
That's a really tough question.
Well, they don't mess around apparently
Wow.
with that trivial stuff.
All right, so we got to name 2 states.
2.
With the most national parks.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say California and Texas.
California and Alaska.
Alaska was on my list, but
Alaska.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Apparently, they've just probably taken all the uninhabited land and said it's a national park in Alaska.
well, there's a lot of natural
is.
resources out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
Pink.
Pink entertainment.
What title of a 007 movie that stars Pierce Brosnan is the English translation of the Bond family's Latin motto, Orbis non sufficit? Orbis non sufficit.
Wow.
So I was looking for the title of a 007 movie. It
Yeah.
has Pierce Brosnan in it.
yeah.
And the title is an English translation of Orbis non sufficit.
Wow.
That's a.
Yeah, this is
Wow.
not the right answer, but the only Pierce Brosnan one I can think of is License to Kill. I don't know the name of it.
The world is not enough.
The world is not enough. Yeah. I don't know Latin.
If anyone knew Latin out there,
Yeah.
hopefully they got it.
Okay.
All right, yellow.
Yellow history.
Which pacifist president was in office when the United States entered World War I in 1917?
Okay.
Yep.
1917?
1917, who was president? Because he was a pacifist president and he was in office
Oh, I don't
at the
think
time.
this is right. I don't know. Woodrow Wilson.
Okay. Yes, correct. That's the one. All right, purple.
Purple, art and literature.
Which Victorian man of letters wrote a quest poem that inspired Stephen King to write his series, The Dark Tower? My sister's reading that series right now.
Yeah,
she
I read.
loves it.
I read all of it except the last
Okay.
250 pages because I didn't want it to end. It's been like 3 years.
Well,
Not doing it. Okay, so who wrote a poem?
a quest poem,
Quest poem.
and it was a Victorian man of letters, and he inspired Stephen King.
Wadsworth.
Robert Browning.
Browning.
The poem is Child Roland to the Dark Tower Came.
Okay. I did not know that
All
one.
right.
Okay.
Green.
Green, science and nature.
What type of crop is Solanum watneyi, which was named for character Mark Watney in the 2011 book and 2015 movie The Martian? I love this book.
What crop?
Yeah, what type of crop is Solanum watneyi, which is named after the character Mark Watney in the 2011 book and movie The Martian?
So it's like whatever he was trying to grow up there?
Yes. Have you read that? Because I do remember
No,
he
I
was
watched
trying to
the
grow.
movie, though.
Okay.
I have no idea. Corn.
Potatoes. Tomato. No,
Tomato.
I was wrong. What?
Tomatoes.
Tomato.
Okay.
The Botanical Society of America invited actor Matt Damon to become okay, whatever. Honorary member.
Okay.
I really thought it was potatoes. Okay. Orange.
Orange, sports and leisure.
Which brand of shoe was made popular with the help of chef Mario Batali?
Brand of shoe
Which brand of shoe
was made popular
was
by
made
chef?
popular with the help of chef Mario Batali?
My answer is Crocs.
Yes,
Nice.
All
you
right.
are correct.
I did not get all 6, but if
No.
you did, let us know.
If you did,
And
tell us.
send you a Pop Rocks from a Fun Dip
Yep.
box. All right, you want to do a little Everyday with Jesus?
Let's do it.
All right, every day. Our thought for the day, 140 characters or less, says, we all put God in a box based on the scope of our faith, understanding, and spiritual freedom. Is your box getting bigger or smaller? And then the verse is Ephesians 3, verse 17, it says, "And I pray that you, being rooted and established in love, may have power together with all the saints to grasp how wide and long and high and deep is the love of Christ." It's fun.
Wow.
It's a fun way to, I just, so based on our understanding, the parameters
Right.
of who God is, but to grasp how wide and long and
Right.
deep and high, the fullness of who
The
God
box
is.
is really our understanding, but God is so much bigger than that.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah. So I hope your knowledge, relational knowledge and understanding of God grows today. Because this is a good day to do that.
Yes.
This is the day.
This is the day.